Hi, that I just have to talk to you. Will you excuse me?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Always for Grace Kelly.
Always for Grace Kelly. And sitting opposite me now is lovely Grace Kelly. Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you very, very much.
Well, now, you are a real triple threat girl, as they say in the business, because you won it for Rear Window, for Dial M for Murder, and Country Girl. All quite different parts, weren't they?
Yes, they were. I was very grateful for the chance to play such varied roles.
Tell me something. How did you get started in motion pictures? You came from television originally?
Well, my first part in pictures came when people from Fox saw me in The Father with Raymond Massey and Mady Christians. And I went out to do a small part in a picture called 14 Hours. And that was my first part. And then I went on to do High Noon. And after that, I signed my contract with MGM and went to Africa to do Mogambo.
Have you traveled very much since you started making pictures?
Oh yes, I've been very lucky. I've been to so many wonderful places. I've been to Africa and to France and South America and London.
Oh, that's exciting. I hear you're going back to Africa. Is that true, or is that just gossip in the papers?
Well, there's talk about it, but I don't think it will be for a couple of years.
Well, now, how does a young lady coming from legitimate theater and television go out to Hollywood and get so many pictures in one year? You're really quite well, I don't know what. You must have the magic touch. How did you do it?
Well, it's sheer luck.
Oh, that's...
Really, it just, I happened to be there when all of these things came my way, and it was a freak thing, and I'm very, very grateful for it.
That's very sweet, and I think not only should you, sweet to say something like that, but absolutely you proved it in every sense of the word that you're so capable and that you've done such a marvelous job. We have another picture of yours now at the music hall, The Bridge of Toko-Ri.
Yes.
How did you do that? Did you do that in Hollywood too?
Yes, most of the company went to Japan, but I was filming Rear Window at the time and couldn't go. I was very sorry about that. But when the company came back from Tokyo, I worked with them at the studios at Paramount.
What are you up to now?
Well, I was just out to the coast for a quick visit this week. I left on Tuesday and came back on Friday. It was my quickest trip to date. And I went out to talk to the studio about future plans. And there's nothing definite so far, but there's several things we're talking about.
Let me see now. You went out to Hollywood. When was that exactly?
Tuesday. And
I mean the first time to make the first
time. The first time was in 1951.
And how many pictures have you made since that time? It's 55 now. Just 55.
I've made 9.
9 pictures. That's a wonderful record, Grace Kelly. Listen, didn't you win an award last year of some sort, as I recall, for another picture?
No, I was nominated for an award for supporting actress, but I didn't win.
Well, that was a good beginning, and for all supporting actresses who have almost won, this is certainly, if Grace Kelly is an example, a very hopeful sign. Grace Kelly, when you start out in this business, did you go to dramatic school, or did you just make up your mind you were going to be an actress and you just barged in where angels feared to tread?
Well, a little bit of both. I went to dramatic school at the American Academy for 2 years, and then came time for barging.
Tell me, if you were going to give a tip to a young lady listening to this program, what would you suggest that the ingredients that they have for success in the theater or motion pictures, aside from talent?
Well, it's very difficult to say. The main thing is that you first have to decide if it's something that you really want to do. And whatever you want to do, if you believe in it and work at it hard enough, your dream should come true.
In other words, you really have to stick to it, don't you?
Yes.
Not just one shot and try it, and if it fails, you give up.
Well, if it's something that you love and that you want to do, you don't mind giving up other things for it.
Now, of all the great classics in the world, of all the great plays that we've heard of, if you had your choice, which part would you choose to play?
Well, it's funny. I have no dream to play any particular part. There are many I would like to do, but there's not one that I'm dying to do. I've been lucky to play a lot of very different parts, and for the next few years, because I'm still learning, I'd like to try to play as many different roles as possible.
Have you any plans for your personal life, or should I keep my mouth shut about that? Are we going to see you get married, have children, settle down, or are you going to go on with this career of yours?
Well, of course, I'd love to be married and have children, but I don't think it's the time for that just now. I'm still more interested in my career than marriage, and I don't think I could do both at once very well right now.
Well, that's certainly very interesting to hear from an actress, and I think very, very honest and candid of her. It certainly takes a lot of energy and time. Do you still study? You know, so many actresses that I know, like Geraldine Page and so forth, they still work, they still study, they still sing, and they train. Do you still find it helpful to study?
Oh, yes. I think one must always continue to study.
Do you have any other interests? Do you paint or write?
Well, I paint only for my own amusement, merely for relaxation.
Well, that certainly is a wonderful hobby to have. Do you use oil, watercolor, or anything?
Oil occasionally, but mostly charcoal and pastel.
And what do you like to do, scenes or people?
I prefer people.
I thought so. It would seem right somehow. Of all the parts that you have played so far, which do you think is the one? I understand that I'm going to interrupt myself for change. Which is the one, as you look on the screen, most performers feel that, a little odd about seeing themselves on the screen the first time? And as you looked at yourself in the different pictures, which one did you feel was the best job and the one you liked to do the most?
Oh, that's hard to say. I feel that Country Girl was a part that was more of a challenge than anything else I had done, and I enjoyed it not only for that reason, but that I felt it was an important picture and an important story about people, and I really enjoyed doing it.
Well, it's been a great pleasure having you, Grace Kelly, with us, and I want to wish you all the luck in the world. It couldn't have happened to a very nicer girl, I'm sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sitting next to me now is a gentleman that I know all of you know, Rudy Vallee himself.
Hi, hello everybody, and I'm very honored to be asked to come to a film gathering.
I know. Tell me, sir, I hear you've been in Europe, is that true?
20 wonderful weeks in Paris, London, Monte Carlo, New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve in Wiesbaden, entertaining the Air Force, 3 days in Glasgow, and home on the America.
Wow, that sounds like a wonderful time. What were some of the things that you did over there? Did you make any films, or were you just entertaining, or doing both?
My prime reason for being there was the United Artists production of Gentlemen Marry Brunettes with Jane Russell, Gene Crane, Scott Brady, Alan Young, and yours truly.
A little trouble with billing there for a minute. I remember now, this picture was made in England, and when was it finished, sir?
Began in Paris. All the exteriors and a few interiors were done in Paris. Bad weather slowed us down about 3 weeks there. We were 8 weeks in Paris, 7 weeks in London, about 8 days in Monte Carlo, and the picture finished in London.
How does it feel to be in motion pictures again and to be doing the kind of parts that you're doing now? Is it fun for you?
In this picture, I play Rudy Vallee as I was in 1926 and I am today, so it wasn't too much fun because there's no great fun in being yourself. I'd rather do characterizations such as the little play I did this summer in summer stock, Jenny Kissed Me, when I played a Catholic priest, 65 years of age, who doesn't like human nature. I had more fun doing that than anything I've ever known.
I saw you in a picture, and I can't for the life of me remember it now, but you were just marvelous. You were playing a character part in it. It was just about a year ago or two, I guess.
You mean the schnook with the glasses, the pince-nez role? Well, I've done about 12 or 14 of those in the last 15 years since Preston Sturges first thought of it in 1942 in the Palm Beach Story, and you could have seen any. I don't know which one it would be.
Oh, it was. I remember seeing you with the glasses, and I remember that you were just wonderful. I thought this man should not be wasted.
Mother's a Freshman with Loretta Young and Van Johnson, maybe.
That's the one. Yes, you just were wonderful in it. Well, tell me now, what are you up to now that you're back in USA?
Guesting with Sullivan a week from Sunday, then I'm going down to the Jung Hotel to play there during Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and then maybe to Palm Beach for a couple of weeks of nightclubs and hotels, maybe Florida, maybe Miami Beach itself, and then home I hope to make a picture with Marjorie Main. They're considering my taking Percy Kilbride's place in the Marn Park Kettle series, and I hope it gels.
I hope it gels, too. Thank you, Rudy Vallee, so much. And now I'd like you all to meet a lady who has won awards and Oscars and everything under the sun, a lovely lady named Thelma Ritter, and she won an award, and she was in Rear Window. Welcome.
Hello. As a matter of fact, I never did win an award, you know. I've had 4 consecutive nominations, I'm always a bridesmaid and never a bride.
Well, if you didn't, I give you one right now.
Well, thank you. I can use it. Well, I would like to say that it's just wonderful being here tonight to this party honoring Grace Kelly, whom I think is the great. Those of you who have seen Country Girl, have you seen it?
Not yet, and I'm just dying to. I hear it's fabulous.
This, I think, is one of the greatest motion picture performances that I've ever seen. This girl is really great.
Now, this is giving, this is like carrying coals to Newcastle, because this lady has given awards, has played with all the top people in Hollywood, and getting a compliment from Thelma Ritter is really something. Thelma, have you met Ben Grauer?
Met him.
Thelma and I have done programs together for a year or two before today.
Definitely. I'm glad you didn't get too specific, Ben, because we were child actors at the time, of course.
Ben Grauer, where have you been?
I've been up at the Boston Symphony doing the broadcast there with Charles Munch, Daphnis and Chloe. Grabbed a plane, got to LaGuardia 20 minutes ago, zup, zup, zup. And this is, I've been to a number of these film critic awards in the last 4 or 5 years for WRCA. And I think this is one of the most glamorous and most exciting. Part of the reason is Grace Kelly, undoubtedly.
Oh, it's certainly the most exciting thing I've ever been to. Thelma Ritter, what are you up to now? What are you playing in?
Well, I just got back home a few days before Christmas, having finished a picture with Fred Astaire and Leslie Caron, Daddy Longlegs.
Oh.
So I got home 5 days before Christmas. I would have been smarter to wait and get home Christmas Eve. I would have missed a lot of chores.
Well, Thelma, I want to thank you very much, but I see somebody here I'm kind of partial to aside from you, and that's my old man. Hi, Pappy.
Hello. Sydney, how are you, dear?
Why, Dad, how good you look. Like a solid gold hit, doesn't it?
Yes, he is. This is Loring Smith, star of Solid Gold Cadillac, who is at the Film Critics Award dinner by virtue of the fact that he's been in a lot of pictures. Welcome.
God bless you, Sydney, for that lovely build-up. That's awfully nice, and it's awfully nice to be here and see such a wonderful crowd of people.
I've got a half a minute to introduce Vincent Sardy, who's been holding down the fort here for all of us. Vincent, say hello to everybody.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's the biggest crowd we've ever had for one of these parties, and it's very, very nice.
And one of the nicest crowds, I'm sure.
That's right. Good.
Vincent, it's good to see you, too. Not that I don't see you every night, you know.
I have to tell everybody that this is a special coverage of the New York Film Critics Awards ceremonies. It was produced by Steve White and Bill Burns for NBC in New York. This is Sydney Smith signing off, saying good night, God bless you, and come back again soon.